Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond with a 2018 FIFA World Cup preview. 8 groups, 4 teams. 32 will go down to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2. Who knows what could happen. And this is brought to you by the official drink of FIFA, Pepsi. I suggest you go on YouTube and search for the 2002 Pepsi commercial with sumo wrestlers against star soccer players. Of course, I'm repping my beloved England, and show you the back. Hopefully you can see the back. Read 10 on it. Now you ask yourself, why does it look discolored? Well, I got this at a contest at my local bar 4 years ago, and unfortunately, even though I tried to put it in the wash, like you normally do, the numbers come out sticking. So unfortunately, the number 10 for Rooney and all that, I'm probably going to have to end up putting it in with a magic marker or something like that and wash it during the tournament to make it look cool. So of course, that's my country. I'm hoping to do well. I'll get to them later. I know a lot of people want to do the FIFA World Cup preview, so I decided to do it. So anyway, Group A will consist of Russia, the host, and a team that has had not so good World Cup appearances after the breakup with the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union in 1966 took 4th place. Saudi Arabia, who had a few good tournaments, especially 94, Saeed Al-Awara's famous goal against Belgium, and of course Saudi Arabia went to the second round and lost. And then they got their asses kicked 8-0 by Germany in the 2002 group stage. Egypt, who was making their first World Cup appearance since 1990. And, yeah, when the Italia in 1990, you know how boring those matches were. And Uruguay is in it. Of course, they're the fan favorites because of Luis Suarez. And Uruguay, 2-time World Cup champion, 1930 and 1950. Especially that 51 in Brazil. So the big question is, who's going to be the second team who will contest this group other than Uruguay? Now, Uruguay is pretty smart, and I think they will do well, and they will probably win the group. The big question on everyone's lips will be, will Russia be the second ever host to not go to the second round, like the knockout stages? The answer is, it will depend on their match against Egypt on the 19th. So, of course, this is being taped on June 13th. So by next Wednesday will be the key game between Russia and Egypt to see who could probably be the second guy. Uruguay is pretty good. Saudi Arabia hasn't really been that good as of late. Saudi Arabia will probably have to take good care of Russia and Uruguay. Now, on to Group B, and this is, you can kind of call it a group of death, if you will, but I don't call it a group of death. It is Portugal, who had a big dry spell. They never went to a World Cup before 1966, and that was the year they actually took 3rd place, losing to England in the semifinals but beating the Soviets for 3rd place. 1986, Portugal taking care of England in a match. I think Portugal got knocked out. I can't remember. I know that Portugal has been in many tournaments. I think every tournament since 2002 they've been in. And 2002 was that debacle when they lost to the Americans and didn't get out of their group. Portugal in 2006 went to the semifinals where France took care of them. 2010 and 2014, I forget who knocked them out. I think Spain knocked them out in 2010, if I remember correctly. But anyway, you got the Spaniards. Of course, Portugal and Spain will play the first game of the group in a famous match, the Iberian Derby, if you will. We got Morocco, who today lost the chance to host the 2026 World Cup. It will be the tri-nations of Canada, the United States, and Mexico that will host the World Cup after Qatar in 2022. And Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, they're okay. Morocco's had a few decent World Cup chickens and all that. But can we call this a group of death? It could happen. I mean, Iran and Morocco are no spring chickens. They've been here before. Of course, Portugal and Spain playing on Friday afternoon. It's a big matchup. the Iberian Derby, and I think they're not going to try to consummate an assault this time. I think they're going to try to beat each other up for the other teams. And the question is, will Portugal win the World Cup? I say no. European champions don't usually do well in World Cups after they won the European Championships. But I know Spain in 2010, they won the World Cup after they won the 2008 Euro Championships. And of course, they won the 2012 championship Euros, but in 2014 they crashed out thanks to Holland beating them in the first game of that competition 5-1. Now, the big question on everyone's lips will be, do I have a full grudge on Portugal? The answer is yes and no. Yes, I have a grudge on Portugal, but that's the soccer team, and no, not on anyone in particular. I have a lot of Portuguese friends on Facebook, and all the American friends. Americans aren't in the World Cup. Although I shouldn't hold you laughing, because Canada is not in the World Cup. But England's in. So anyway, do I hate Portugal as a country? No, I just hate their soccer team because of what they did to England in 2006 and getting Wayne Rooney sent off. Rooney probably would have gotten a yellow card, but it wasn't for that fucking wanker, or wanker, if you will, CR7. And I still hate CR7, especially since he left Manchester United for Real. He left Man U high and dry, and they were going to be a dynasty. So, yeah, let it be known that the Portuguese soccer team will probably be doing okay, but I don't think it's going to definitely be a World Cup for them. I have to be honest. Group C consists of France, the team that sometimes has had great tournaments and poor tournaments. They are the 1998 champions. And speaking of that, the next World Cup after that, in 2002, they choked. They didn't score one putrid goal in the group with Senegal, Denmark, and Uruguay. 2006, they went to the final, lost to Italy, Sudan's headbutt. And then in 2010, there was anarchy within the ranks, and France did not qualify for the next stage. In 2014, they did okay. Australia, basically the Oceania's best chance. Well, they don't play in Oceania, they play in Asia now, making it a little easier, making it a little tougher for themselves to get in. Australia has not missed a World Cup since 2006 when they got in for the first time in 32 years at that point. Peru, whose last World Cup was 1982, of course that was the time of Cubillas, and of course in 1978 Peru shocked Scotland to finish second in that group, in the group with Holland, Scotland, and Iran in it. Peru, of course, kind of got bought off by Argentina 6-0 in a group, in a second round matchup. Of course, everyone denies it, but the Peruvian goalie was Argentine-born, and the $50 million the junta gave it to the Peruvian generals, too hard to count. And Denmark, who were decent back in the 80s. Famous win in 1986, Denmark over West Germany, although they didn't take that to a fantastic World Cup run. They haven't had too many cup runs. So the question on everyone's lips was, will France win the group? Yes. Who will take second? Australia, Peru, or Denmark? In my mind, it's going to probably be Peru. I mean, Denmark is okay. And Australia, well, Australia has a habit of falling flat. But I think Peru's got something. They're my shock. They could be a Cinderella team if you're not careful. So Group D is Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. Argentina, of course, 1978 world champions in their own country. Messi being the big guy. Iceland, their first ever World Cup appearance after their first ever World Cup Euros. I mean, their Euros appearance, which they ended up getting to the quarterfinals at the expense of my beloved England. I mean, Iceland did get their butts handed to them by France, but they scored 2 goals against France. That's huge. Croatia, who in 98, their first World Cup as an independent nation from Yugoslavia, shocked everyone. Took 3rd place. They beat Holland for 3rd place. That was amazing. And Nigeria, African perennial team coming out of Africa, and all that. Now, of course, the question will be raised, who will be in the second round alongside Argentina? it will probably be close to call. I say Croatia, Iceland when they meet on the final day of the group on June 26th in a few weeks. That could be huge. I think that's the matchup that would be huge. I don't think Nigeria's got a shot, but you never know. Iceland, did pretty well for themselves in Euro. Group E will be the big group with Brazil, four-time champs? I think around 5-time champs. 58, 62, 70, 94, 2002. 5-time champs. The five-time champs. Can you dig it, Saka? Booker T. Brazil, of course, coming off that pathetic World Cup semifinal blowout loss to Germany 7-1. And of course, Brazil had no answer for Holland, as Holland took third place from them. We got Switzerland, who have had some decent runs in the World Cup, but nothing too fancy. Costa Rica, who shocked everyone by going to their second straight World Cup, and Serbia, Serbia, just plain Serbia, not Montenegro. Serbia's in this group. Of course, in Group E, it's going to be who's going to be second behind Brazil. Don't be surprised if it is Costa Rica or even Serbia, but I think Costa Rica, when they play Serbia on Sunday, that could be the game that could determine second place. Switzerland's good too, but Switzerland's a bit boring. They don't really play a lot of offense. They play a lot of defense. I know it would be unfair, but in 2006, Switzerland actually ended up giving up no goals in regulation time and yet still fell in the knockout stage via the freaking penalty shootouts. Group F is Deutschland, the team I second. England, of course, I support because my last name being Diamond and being on the paternal side of the family, my dad's side of the family, I'm very close with them. And Germany, of course, part of my mother's side, the maternal side of the Diamond name. All that. Germany, of course, defending World Cup champs, trying to go back to back, which is hard to do. I think Italy and Brazil are the only country. Italy and Brazil are the only countries in history to go back to back. Italy, 1934, 1938, of course, in the fascist Mussolini regime, and Brazil, 58 and 62. They had a decent chance at 66, but they got in trouble because everyone wanted to hack Pele. Mexico, perennial team out of CONCACAF. Mexico has had terrible runs. They have actually lost the most games in the World Cup within losses, but not like group stage. Not like qualification losses, but anyway. Sweden surprised everyone, especially a lot of the purists, because, of course, Sweden took care of Italy in a two-leg playoff to get themselves in instead of Italy. And it's the first time Italy's missed the World Cup since 1958, and not many of my friends were alive then. My parents were alive, but, And you got South Korea, who perennially get out of Asia, too. Of course, South Korea had that. Sweden had a Cinderella run in 58. They were the finalists. They lost to Brazil. And also, in 1994, they took third place in the last World Cup in the United States. South Korea, of course, that 2002 dream run that was kind of tainted because a lot of people said that FIFA conspired to give them a good push. Although some people said, well, if they give South Korea a push, why didn't they give Japan a push? I think they probably tried to give Japan a push and they fell flat. Anyway, Korea took fourth place in that World Cup. So, seeing this group, I have no doubt that Germany's going to get in. But Mexico and Sweden, when they meet on the final day of their group, 2 weeks from today, that being Wednesday the 27th, that could be the critical game. South Korea, I don't think, can do that far. Group G is the group I've got to keep my eyeballs on because it's my beloved England playing. They will be, of course, the 1966 world champions, and in 1990, Gaz's tears and all that, and a fourth place finish. The only two times England's been to a semifinal. Of course, England boycotted the first 3 World Cups for many reasons, and in 1950, their first World Cup appearance, they lost 1-0 to the United States in Brazil. And of course, England, worst performance from a group stage in history since 1958. Tunisia, not much of a World Cup history. I think they were the first African team to win a game in the World Cup in history in 1978 when they beat Mexico 3-1, if memory serves me right. Panama, first time team. Panama that actually got a bit of a break thanks to Trinidad and Tobago. I know those guys did not make the playoffs, but they beat the United States on the final day of qualification. Panama got through, I think, either automatically or through a playoff. I think it was automatically. And then you got Belgium, the team that everyone says is the biggest sleeper of the tournament. I believe that. Belgium is going to be good. But Belgium's got to get over that critical loss to Wales in the European Cup quarterfinals on Canada Day 2016. Now, do Panama and Tunisia have a chance to get out of the group stage? It will all depend on Belgium and England and if they can play well. I know Belgium and England have to face each other on the final day of the group stage, having 2 weeks from tomorrow, Thursday the 28th. But Panama is not to be messed with. I mean, Panama did get help from Trinidad and Tobago, to not count the United States, but Panama did play very well. And Tunisia, well, African nations sometimes can surprise you. Kind of like the next team in Group H. Well, question, will England get out of the group? Yes. I'm not expecting them to win the World Cup. I'm expecting them to get out of the group stage this time. And Group H. We'll have Poland, my sister-in-law's team. Poland, who surprised everyone by taking 2 third-place finishes in World Cup history, 74 and 82, surprising a lot of people. They're pretty good. Got Lewandowski. Senegal, the surprise pack of 2002, Ababouba Diop with that famous goal against France, first game of the tournament. Senegal actually won on a golden goal, I think against Denmark. Yeah, I think they beat Denmark on a golden goal in the round of 16, and then they got golden goals themselves by Turkey. It's surprising to see Turkey and Senegal, one of them in 2002, would be going to the semifinals. Now, golden goal doesn't exist anymore, but the golden goal rule, of course, is the first goal in extra time wins the match. Personally, I think the golden goal was okay, but I think it's more exciting to see matches in extra time. And you'll see matches in extra time in the knockout stage, not in the group stage. Colombia, powerful team, 2014. Jaime Rodriguez, his famous goal against Uruguay. Colombia is not to be messed with. And Japan, who has not been out of a World Cup since 1994, the shame of Doha, helped them out. Now, of course, can Senegal, the big question is, will Senegal get out of the group stage? It will have to depend on if Poland can believe their own BS, like their own powerful. Colombia and Poland, I know, play on the 24th. That's a big matchup. Senegal will have to hope for a good match. Of course, you got yourself your brackets, and all that. I apologize, I have to write down the teams I want to come out of it, like first, second, and all that. And then I'll give you the rundown of match play. Okay. So will I do that? So I think that. I think that for Group B, Group C. I think it will be like that. Group D. No doubt about that. It will be close. I think Iceland can do that. Group E, it's got to be close. So, and I'll shock everyone, I guess. Group F. As well. Group G. Somehow that might happen. Group H. Okay, so I got my 16 teams. Here are the predictions. In Sochi, Kazan, Russia, the winners of Group C will be playing the first round of 16 game on June 30th against the winners of Group D. If that were true, then it would be France versus Croatia. I say France definitely gets past Croatia. Also in Sochi, I didn't know Sochi had a soccer team. But anyway, the winners in Group A, that being Uruguay, will take on Portugal, but the runners up in Group B. I think Spain will somehow win Group B, but what do I know? But for all you people saying I'm going to be anti-Portuguese, no. Uruguay does not really have a good enough team to make it past Portugal. Portugal will win and go to the quarterfinals. And then you got yourself, sorry, I have to write this down because it's very vital for quarterfinals. On Canada today, the winners of Group B being Spain will take on Russia. The runner-up in Group A, I think Russia will somehow get out of it. They'll weasel their way out. Spain will easily take Russia apart. And that's in Moscow. And then in Nizhny Novgorod, I apologize if I can't pronounce it properly. The winners of Group E take on the runner-up in Group C. That would be Croatia. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Argentina versus Peru. And Peru will, unfortunately, get beaten by Argentina this time more cleanly than 40 years ago. Haha. Group E, the winner in Group E taking on the runner-up in Group F. That's the game in Samara. That would be Brazil, Mexico, and there's no way that Mexico is going to take care of Brazil. And then they'll face a team in Rostov. The winners in Group G against the runner-up in Group H. That would be England versus Poland. I'm calling an upset. England against Poland. I'm going to call it. England better win. England will definitely win their matchup. July 3rd, St. Petersburg will have winners of Group F against the winners of Group E. That would be Germany versus Switzerland. And I think Germany will somehow win. And then you got winners of Group H, that being Colombia against Belgium. I am going to be a little transparent, and I say Belgium is going to pull one out of the hat in Moscow. And then you get your quarterfinals. That would be Portugal versus France, Spain, Argentina, Brazil, England, Germany, Belgium. Portugal and France will play in Nizhny. And I am going to go out on a limb and pick Portugal will somehow beat France. I mean, the rematch of the Euro final, I think Portugal will somehow win. The second, well, on July 6th, also on July 6th, will be Spain and Argentina in Kazan. I think Casillas has lost a step. So I think Argentina will somehow sneak into the semifinals. In Samara, on July 7th, will be Brazil, England. And unfortunately, I know my fate. And I'm going to say it's 2-1 Brazil over England. I mean, England get to the quarterfinals. I like that. It'll be the first time in 3 World Cups. But, Germany, Belgium, in Sochi, it's got to be Germany. I think Belgium's time will fall. Then you got Portugal versus Argentina in St. Petersburg. You know what? I hate to say this, but I think Portugal might get to the final. And then in Moscow, for semifinals, Brazil, Germany. Germany will somehow win against Brazil, and Germany's going to win. My prediction, Germany will win the World Cup over Portugal. It will be a tight 2-1 match. And I do predict that Brazil will somehow get third place over Argentina, despite them fucking third place up last time. So, anyway, that's my World Cup predictions. Wow, 23 minutes. That's amazing. But anyway, time will tell. Time will fucking tell.